Hello, welcome to Midlands Today with Sarah Falkland and Nick Owen.
The headlines tonight.
Black cab production starts up again in Coventry under new Chinese ownership.
Now that we're part of Geely, we've really got a sound financial future. We can do things that we could only have dreamt about in the past.
We'll be asking if the new owners can succeed where the previous ones failed. Good evening. Production has started again at the London taxi company in Coventry. Around 150 people lost their jobs when LTI went into administration last year, but now vehicles are once again being made in the city after it was bought and rebranded by the Chinese company Geely.
And according to one manufacturers' organisation, more than half of companies here in the West Midlands have reported increased output, making it the highest now for more than 3 years. Well, our business correspondent Peter Plisner is the first journalist invited inside LTI since the takeover.
Putting the shine back into the famous London taxi, this is the first vehicle to come off the production line since the Coventry firm collapsed. And this was the scene last year, unfinished taxis going nowhere as administrators put the company up for sale. LTI went bust at the beginning of October last year after a fault with a Chinese-made steering box meant a recall of 500 vehicles. Days later, the company went into administration with the loss of more than 150 jobs. Then in February this year, the Chinese car maker Geely bought the taxi firm for almost £12 million. Now, 7 months later, and production has finally restarted, although currently they're only making around 12 vehicles a day. More new cabs means more new jobs. When the company collapsed, they were employing around 300 people. When they went into administration, that dropped to just over 100, but now they're creating jobs again. Currently, almost 170 people are employed here. Steve Pearce lost his job when the company collapsed. Now he's back.
Very surprised. Came out of the blue. It was strange walking back into here, but it's good now.
The man in charge maintains that staff have worked hard to restore the company's reputation.
We've gone down the ranks. I've been down the ranks. We've been at Heathrow ranks. We've been at Paddington. All the main places where the taxi drivers are. We talk to them. We listen to what they have to say, and then we react. So we fixed all the niggles that they were complaining about previously, and they've appreciated it. So they've really got the confidence back in the company.
It's good news too for this Stourport-based components firm. Ironically, it's now making an improved version of the steering box that failed.
From our company, we're able to employ 6 more people. It's given us more turnover, and it's given us the fact that we can supply the London taxi again.
So what do customers make of it all? Today we caught up with some of them in a Coventry taxi rank.
Glad it stayed. It's the last sort of purpose-built vehicle that's built in Coventry.
I think it's a very good sign for manufacturing industries in Coventry.
Although production has restarted at the old factory, management have said they want to move to more modern premises and are currently looking at several other sites in the Coventry area.
And Peter's still at LTI this evening. Peter, about 150 people lost their jobs when it went into administration. I mean, does the company expect to get back to previous employment levels, do you think?
Well, Nick, at the moment there are 168 people employed by the company. That should rise to about 200 by the end of the year. Order books at the moment, we're told, are full, but it's unlikely that we'll get to the number pre-administration because production processes here are much more efficient. There's fewer dealerships, and of course, if they do move to a new factory, then there'll be even more efficiencies and higher productivity.
How can the new operators make it successful? And obviously the company before struggled.
Well, I think there are 3 main reasons. One is there's much more focus on the quality of the product, the quality of the parts coming in from China, the parts coming in from elsewhere. The other reason is they've changed some of their suppliers, particularly some critical safety parts. And of course, we saw on the film that Stourport-on-Severn company making the new steering box. They used to make it. It was then outsourced to China. Then we had that failure, and now it's come back. Of course, the other reason is that they're now part of a much bigger company. The Chinese firm Geely has money to invest. They've already invested in getting production processes started again. They have money to improve the current product and indeed develop new products. And of course, we know that's the lifeline and the lifeblood for any car company, no matter how niche they are.
And overall, it seems a pretty good news day for manufacturing.
manufacturing is picking up, particularly those companies based in automotive. That EEF survey talks about domestic markets picking up in the last quarter, and of course they talk about investment intentions being at a 6-year high, so more companies buying more plant and machinery, and that's good for manufacturing, good for jobs.
Peter, thank you.